is seeking for the truth and closure. Or is he simply overreacting? We are so excited to share our first story from Daniel, who is currently in a dilemma and needs advice. I will read the story as it was sent.
Hi T, I'm reaching out because I'm in a difficult situation and need advice from your audience. I never imagined I would be in this position, sharing such personal details with strangers, but I desperately need some perspective. My name is Daniel, and I have been married to Vivian for 5 years. From the moment we met, Vivian was deeply involved in her church choir. It was her passion, and she often spoke about how it brought her peace and joy. I admired her dedication, even though it meant we attended separate churches. She insisted that she couldn't leave her church because of the choir, and I respected that. However, a few weeks ago, my world turned upside down. I discovered that Vivian had an affair with their so-called choir master. The revelation came out of nowhere, hitting me like a ton of bricks. I stumbled upon a series of messages on her phone, messages that were limited to a one-day discussion, but filled with enough details to shatter my trust. I confronted her immediately. "Vivian, what is this?" I demanded, my voice trembling with a mix of anger and hurt. She looked at me, her eyes wide with guilt. Her eyes were filled with so much guilt, but her words felt hollow. How could she possibly explain this? How could she betray me like this? The confrontation was intense. I was furious, heartbroken, and confused. "How long has this been going on?" I asked myself aloud, my voice shaking. She swore it was just one time, and that it didn't mean anything. But how could I believe her? She had been in that choir long before we met. We had built a life together, had 2 beautiful children, and now everything felt like a lie. I told her to leave. In fact, T, at that point, I was done with her. I couldn't imagine my wife being shared with another man, so I asked her to go to her parents. I needed time to think. Vivian broke down, begging me to reconsider. She called her parents, who came over to speak with me. They pleaded with me to consider the kids, to think about our family. That we've been through so much together. Her mother, whom I respect so much, also told me not to let this one mistake destroy everything. After days of agonizing over what to do, I finally made a decision. For the sake of our children, for the sake of the life we had built together, I would try to forgive her. Vivian moved back in, and we tried to return to some semblance of normalcy. But the hurt lingered. Every time I looked at her, I saw betrayal. Every time I thought about the choir, I felt a pang of jealousy and anger. Weeks passed, and while things seemed to settle on the surface, I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story. Vivian was overly defensive whenever the topic came up, which only fueled my suspicions. One evening, after the kids were in bed, I approached Vivian with a heavy heart. "Vivian, I need to talk to you," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. She looked up from the book she was reading, her eyes wary. "I've been thinking a lot about everything that happened," I began, "and I can't help but feel that there might be more that you're not telling me." Vivian's eyes filled with tears. "Daniel, we've been through this. I've told you everything. But I need to be sure," I said, my voice breaking. "I need to know that our children are really mine." Her reaction was immediate and intense. "How can you say that?" she cried, standing up and throwing the book aside. "You said you forgave me, Daniel. How can you still doubt me?" "It's not about forgiveness," I insisted. "It's about knowing the truth. If the kids are mine, then I can finally put this behind us and move on. But I need to know, Vivian. I need to be sure." Vivian's face twisted with anger and hurt. "You lack the spirit of forgiveness," she spat. "If you had really let go, you wouldn't even think of a DNA test." I stood my ground, feeling a mix of sadness and determination. "I'm going to do it anyway," I said quietly. "I have to." 3 days after that discussion, I came home from work to an eerie silence. The house felt empty, devoid of the usual sounds of children playing and Vivian bustling around. Panic set in as I called out for them. "Vivian? Kids?" No response. I ran from room to room, my heart pounding. It was then that I noticed. Her clothes were gone, the kids' toys were missing, and their suitcases were nowhere to be found. Vivian and the children had disappeared. I called her phone repeatedly, but it went straight to voicemail. I tried calling her parents, her friends, anyone who might know where she was, but no one had any answers. I felt a crushing weight of fear and despair settle over me. Days turned into weeks, and still, there was no word from Vivian. I contacted the police, but without any sign of foul play, there was little they could do. I was left alone in a house filled with painful memories, haunted by the uncertainty of what had happened and why she had left. One night, as I sat alone in the dimly lit living room, my phone buzzed with a message. It was from Vivian. My heart raced as I opened it, hoping for some explanation, some clue. "Daniel, I'm sorry for everything. Please understand that I had to leave. Take care of yourself. Vivian." That was it. No details, no answers, just a brief, cryptic message that only added to my torment. Days and nights blurred together as I struggled to understand. Why had she left? Were the children really mine? Every moment was filled with doubt and pain. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. My thoughts were consumed by the need for answers. In a desperate bid for closure, I turned to you, T, and your audience. Maybe someone out there had been through something similar. Maybe someone could offer some insight or advice. So here I am, sharing my story with you all. I'm deeply hurt, and I don't know the truth yet, but I need to know. I need closure. If you see this, Vivian, please come back and clear your name. I can't get over the fact that those kids might not be mine. I need the truth for my sake and for theirs. Please, anyone who can offer advice or has been through something similar, share your thoughts. I'm at a loss, and I don't know what to do next.
Join the conversation by sharing your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content on emotional well-being. Together, let's embrace the journey towards. To share your stories, you can send us a message via the email provided in the description. Kindly subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell, so you'll be notified when the next video on the third mystery and solution is uploaded. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this message with your friends and family, so it can reach more people around the world. We'll meet again in our next video.